Post-fight review to the Israel Adesanya and Robert Whittaker fight. I thought this fight was very interesting and entertaining. Not actually, I take that back. It wasn't that entertaining. It was kind of boring as hell. It's kind of like trying to keep my eyes open to watch this fight. So the fight starts, and Adesanya is standing on the outside, picking him apart with kicks, jabs, movement. Whittaker is trying to do something, but he's being very patient in the first round. The first round was clearly for Adesanya because he had more activity. He was doing more. And he was landing more punches. Whittaker was trying to find the openings in the first round, trying to figure out Israel and see what he does and doesn't do. And it was pretty boring, and the commentators were saying the right thing. Like, they were like, oh, this fight, Whittaker has to be very patient and take pictures, which means be very stationary, not stationary, but like be very observant of his opponent and try to draw out attacks from Adesanya and see how he moves, and then you can counter the counterpuncher. Whittaker had to be perfect for 5 rounds to win this fight, or even be perfect for 3 rounds to win this fight. Win 3 rounds and you win the fight. Now, the first round was pretty clearly for Adesanya. I scored it 10-9 for Adesanya because he just did more than Whittaker. Whittaker was not active enough and not doing enough, in my opinion. But if he was more aggressive, then he would have got knocked out. So, you gotta take it with a pinch of salt. You can't just go in there and try and take Adesanya's head off because he's an excellent counterpuncher. So the second round, Whittaker's team is like, okay, let's get this guy to the fence. Let's try and get these wrestling exchanges. Let's try and make him, less comfortable in there. Let's try and make him doubt himself. Let's try and make that dude doubt himself in there. Second round is coming to a close, and Adesanya is more active, just like I thought. You see, when Whittaker gets those takedowns, he's not able to keep Adesanya on the ground. He's not able to keep him down, which is a problem, right? So you're not able to keep him down. Exactly. He's not able to keep him down on the ground. Adesanya has a very good ground game, underrated ground game for sure. He just doesn't use it because why would he? He's a very, very good striker, so why the hell would he risk that and go to his submission game, even though he's a purple belt by Andre Galvao? Why would he risk all of that to get into because that's where Whittaker wants the fight to go. He wants it to go to the ground. So Adesanya obviously is going to keep the fight on the feet, right? So second round, I scored it for Adesanya again. The third round, I thought Whittaker was more active and he was doing more. In the third round, I thought he was a little bit more active. I thought he did a little bit more. In the third round, did I think he won the third round? Possibly, it was up in the air. Did I give him the third round? Sure, I did give him the third round. I gave the third round to Whittaker. And this is Adesanya in the corner with Eugene Berman. And Eugene's telling him, stay relaxed, stay patient, no need to rush. Let's draw out some more attacks from Whittaker. This is the fourth round, and third round, I scored it for Whittaker. The first 2 rounds were for Adesanya. The third round was for Whittaker. Did I think the fight was entertaining? Absolutely not. The fight was boring as hell. And it had to be boring for Whittaker to even have a chance of winning that fight. if Whittaker actually tried to push the pace and try and knock out Adesanya, he would have got knocked out. Because as I said before, Adesanya is an excellent counterpuncher. You cannot just walk in there and try and knock out Adesanya because you're going to get knocked out because he's an excellent counterpuncher. He's going to counter that punch. Adesanya, I mean, Whittaker likes to throw that leaping left hand, right? And then he likes to leap and throw the hooks and stuff like that. And those are the moments when Adesanya can throw a left hook and knock you out. You know, the left hook is the most dangerous punch in boxing for a reason. What did you guys think about the fourth round? Did you guys think Whittaker won that round? I thought it was pretty close, but I thought, yeah, he had that moment with the rear naked choke on his back. Trying to get the rear naked choke. I think he should have stayed on his back instead of, but you know, that kind of wears on your legs and stuff like that. It makes your legs heavier as the fight goes on, and that means you won't be able to really push the pace or anything like that. So people actually thought Whittaker got robbed. Like, Whittaker fans are like, oh, he got robbed, he won that fight. And I'm like, what fight were you guys watching? Because I don't know what fight the Whittaker fans were watching, but Whittaker did not win that fight. No way in hell did Whittaker win that fight. How? I thought he won the third and the fifth. I didn't think he won the fourth. He got his ass whooped, to be honest, the whole fight. And then he shoots for a takedown in the fifth round and tries to take Adesanya down again, which this is nothing new. I mean, Adesanya knew that Whittaker was gonna shoot wrestling in between the striking transitions. He's gonna go wrestling, striking to wrestling, and then maybe switch it up. We already knew. Adesanya knew, and his corner knew that this was gonna be his game plan. It was obvious. The whole fight, the whole media run, he was like, oh, obviously he's hard as fuck to take down, but obviously that's gonna be part of the game plan. And his coaches kept telling him, shoot a blast double. But it's not that easy because he's getting, he's a bit tired because the fight, it's kind of going long. And shooting a blast double in the first round isn't always the best idea as well because Adesanya is fresh. So trying to get that takedown is probably going to take a lot out of you in the first round. So I don't know. It's kind of a yin and yang. You kind of have to counter your opponent's movement and do something to make them less comfortable. It's complicated because every strategy, there's a counter strategy to that strategy. That's what makes martial arts so amazing, is that there's a counter to that strategy, to that strategy, to that strategy. There's another counter, there's a counter to that one, which is, it is what it is. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys subscribe, and I'm out. Peace.